Nestled in the historic town of Vicksburg, Mississippi, stands a house like no other. A house where time stands still and spirits linger. This is the McRaven House, often hailed as the most haunted house in Mississippi. Before we continue, please take a moment to support us by subscribing. It's free and helps us continue providing content for your enjoyment. While you're doing so, please hit the thumbs up and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. If this video helps you sleep, we've accomplished our goal, and if you have any suggestions for future content, please leave a comment and I will personally respond. Thank you. Now, back to the stories. Built in 1797 by Andrew Glass, McRaven House began as a simple two-room dwelling. Glass, a notorious highwayman, used the house as a hideout, evading the authorities while continuing his life of crime. Legend has it that Glass's restless spirit still roams the halls, forever tied to the place he once called home. In 1836, the house was purchased by Sheriff Stephen Howard, who expanded it to include a more elaborate section in the Greek Revival style. Howard's wife, Mary Elizabeth, tragically died during childbirth in the house, and her presence has been felt ever since. Visitors report seeing her ghostly figure, dressed in white, mourning the loss of her child. One paranormal investigator stated, "We've captured numerous EVPs in the room where Mary Elizabeth died. You can hear what sounds like a woman crying, and some have even felt a cold presence pass by them in the hallway." During the Civil War, the McRaven House served as a Confederate field hospital. The blood of countless soldiers stained its floors, and the agony seems to have left an indelible mark. Shadows of soldiers are often seen, and the faint sound of moaning and footsteps echo through the night. In 1882, the house came under the ownership of John Bobb, who added the Victorian wing. Bobb was a railroad man, and his dedication to the house was unwavering. Tragically, in 1911, he was murdered in the house by a local outlaw. His spirit, too, is said to walk the halls, still keeping a watchful eye on his beloved home. A tour guide stated, "John Bobb's apparition has been seen multiple times. He's often described as a tall man in a dark suit, sometimes appearing at the top of the stairs or looking out of the windows. It's as if he's still guarding the house." The McRaven House, with its layers of history and tragedy, is a nexus for the paranormal. Each room tells a different story, each spirit a different tale of sorrow, love, and loss. It's a place where the past refuses to fade and where the dead refuse to leave. Today, the McRaven House is a popular destination for ghost hunters and thrill seekers alike. The stories and experiences shared by those who visit only add to the mystique of this haunted mansion. A visitor stated, "I was taking a tour, and as we entered the Civil War section, I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. There was no one behind me. It was the most terrifying experience of my life, but also thrilling." So if you ever find yourself in Vicksburg, take a step back in time and explore the haunted halls of the McRaven House. Who knows, you might just encounter a ghost from the past, still lingering in the place they once called home. In the quiet, unassuming town of Birmingham, New York, nestled among rolling hills and dense woodlands, stands the Phelps Mansion. Built in the mid-1800s by the affluent industrialist Thomas Phelps, this grand mansion was initially a symbol of prosperity and innovation. Thomas Phelps, a man of great vision, had amassed his wealth through the booming ironworks industry, making the Phelps name synonymous with success and prestige. However, behind the mansion's ornate facade and opulent interiors lay a dark, sinister secret that would haunt its halls for generations. The mansion's first brush with tragedy occurred shortly after its completion. Thomas Phelps' beloved wife, Margaret, died under mysterious circumstances. Locals whispered about her sudden, inexplicable illness, which left her bedridden and delirious for weeks before she succumbed. Her death cast a long shadow over the mansion, and many believed that her restless spirit lingered within its walls. But Margaret's death was just the beginning. The Phelps family seemed cursed. Thomas Phelps himself became a reclusive, and his once thriving business began to falter. His health deteriorated, and he was often seen wandering the mansion's halls, talking to shadows and unseen entities. One stormy night, his lifeless body was found at the bottom of the grand staircase. His death was ruled an accident, but rumors of suicide and foul play swirled among the townsfolk. Following Thomas Phelps' demise, the mansion changed hands several times. Each new owner reported strange occurrences. Doors would slam shut on their own, ghostly footsteps echoed through empty corridors, and chilling whispers could be heard in the dead of night. The most infamous haunting involved the spectral apparition of a woman in a flowing white gown, believed to be Margaret Phelps. She was often standing at the top of the grand staircase, her sorrowful eyes gazing down as if searching for someone. Some claimed to hear her soft cries echoing through the mansion on stormy nights, adding to the building's eerie atmosphere. In the early 1900s, the mansion was purchased by a wealthy spiritualist, Dr. Edwin Blackburn. Fascinated by the tales of hauntings, Dr. Blackburn saw the Phelps mansion as the perfect place to conduct his seances and communicate with the afterlife. One particularly notorious seance involved a group of renowned mediums. As the group gathered around the table, candles flickering and shadows dancing on the walls, they attempted to contact the spirit of Margaret Phelps. What transpired that night remains one of the most terrifying experiences ever recorded. Witnesses claimed that the temperature in the room plummeted, and a heavy oppressive presence filled the air. The mediums began to convulse, speaking in voices not their own. One medium, a woman named Clara, spoke directly to the spirit of Thomas Phelps, who confessed to having killed his wife in a fit of rage and despair. The confession ended with Clara screaming and collapsing to the floor, her body cold and lifeless. She was later revived, but never spoke of the experience again. Today, the Phelps Mansion stands as a historical landmark, attracting both tourists and paranormal investigators. Many who visit report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread and unease. Some have captured inexplicable images and recordings, further cementing the mansion's reputation as one of the most haunted locations in New York. Ghost hunting teams have documented chilling evidence. EVP recordings of disembodied voices, sudden drops in temperature, and even shadowy figures darting through the halls. One particularly harrowing account came from a seasoned investigator who claimed to have been pushed by an unseen force, leaving him with a deep, unexplained scratch on his back. The true extent of the hauntings within the Phelps mansion remains a mystery. Are the spirits of Thomas and Margaret Phelps trapped within the walls of their former home, forever bound by their tragic past? Or is there something even darker lurking in the shadows? The Hanna House in Indianapolis, Indiana, a house with a dark past and reputation for being one of the most haunted places in the Midwest. The Hanna House was built in 1858 by Alexander Hanna, a prosperous entrepreneur and a prominent figure in Indianapolis. The mansion was a symbol of his wealth and status, but behind its grand facade lurked secrets and tragedies that left an indelible mark on its walls. Alexander Hanna was a man of many faces. While publicly he was a respected businessman, privately he was also an abolitionist. It's said that he used his house as a stop on the Underground Railroad, providing refuge for runaway slaves seeking freedom from the North. But this noble cause came with great risk. One fateful night, a group of slaves were hiding in the basement. A terrible accident occurred. An oil lamp was knocked over, causing a fire. The smoke filled the basement, and tragically, several lost their lives. It's believed that the spirits of those who perished in the fire still linger in the house, trapped by their untimely deaths. Over the years, many have reported hearing disembodied voices, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling inexplicable cold spots in the basement. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs suggesting the presence of restless spirits. But the basement isn't the only hotspot for paranormal activity. The grand staircase is another focal point of ghostly encounters. Visitors have reported seeing a phantom figure of a woman descending the staircase, only to vanish into thin air. Some believe this ghostly woman could be Alexander Hanna's wife, who died under mysterious circumstances. Her sorrowful presence is felt by many who dare to walk the halls of her former home. The nursery is another room steeped in mystery. A child's laughter and the sound of tiny footsteps have been heard echoing through the halls, despite no living children being present. Could this be the spirit of a lost child to illness or accident within these walls? Paranormal enthusiasts often report high EMF readings here, suggesting a significant amount of supernatural energy. Some have even claimed to have seen toys move on their own, as if an invisible hand were playing with them. The Hanna House stands as a testament to the past, both its triumphs and its tragedies. Its walls have absorbed the sorrow, fear, and pain of those who lived and died here, creating a potent atmosphere of paranormal activity. So the next time you're in Indianapolis and you're feeling brave, why not pay a visit to the Hanna House? But be warned, you might just encounter one of its many lingering spirits. Nestled in the quaint town of Clinton, New Jersey, stands a landmark as picturesque as it is mysterious, the Red Mill Museum. By day, it charms visitors with its rustic beauty and historical exhibits, but as night falls, whispers of its haunted past come alive, painting a picture of a place where history and the supernatural intertwine. Built in 1810 by Ralph Hunt, the Red Mill started its life as a wool processing plant. Over the years, it changed hands and purposes, serving as a grist mill, a plaster mill, and even a textile factory. With each transformation, it accumulated stories, some of hard work and progress, and others of tragedy and despair. One of the most enduring tales of the mill is that of Elma Sands, a young woman who met a tragic end. Legend has it that Elma, a mill worker, was in love with a man who did not return her affections. Heartbroken, she is said to have thrown herself into the mill's raceway, where she drowned. Visitors and staff have reported hearing cries for help echoing through the mill, and some claim to have seen her apparition near the water's edge. One historian stated, "The Red Mill's history is not just a tale of industrial growth, but also one marked by numerous accidents. The machinery here, while innovative for its time, was also incredibly dangerous. There are accounts of workers losing limbs and even their lives to the mill's grinding gears. It's said that their spirits linger, bound to the place where they met their untimely fates." Paranormal investigators have long been drawn to the Red Mill, eager to uncover the secrets that lie within its walls. Among the phenomena they've documented are sudden drops in temperature, unexplained footsteps, and disembodied voices calling out in the dark. One particularly chilling encounter involved a ghost hunter feeling an invisible hand on their shoulder, followed by a whisper urging them to leave. In the 1970s, a group of curious locals conducted a seance in the mill. As they attempted to contact the spirits, the candles flickered violently and a cold wind swept through the room, despite all the windows being closed. One participant, an elderly woman, claimed to have received a message from a former mill worker warning them to respect the past or suffer the consequences. Today, the Red Mill Museum stands as a bridge between the past and present, a place where history is preserved and the paranormal is embraced. Whether you're a history buff, a ghost hunter, or simply a curious visitor, the Red Mill invites you to explore its storied halls. But remember, as you walk through this historic site, you may not be alone. So next time you find yourself in Clinton, New Jersey, pay a visit to the Red Mill Museum. Dive into its rich history, admire its scenic beauty, and if you dare, listen closely for the whispers of the past. For in this place, the line between history and haunting is very thin indeed. San Antonio, Texas, a city known for its rich history, vibrant culture, and the legendary Alamo. But nestled among the bustling streets and historic landmarks lie a towering figure with a chilling past, the Emily Morgan Hotel. This isn't just any luxury hotel, it's a place where history and hauntings intertwine. Originally constructed in 1924, this 13-story Gothic Revival building was designed by the renowned architect Ralph Cameron, but it wasn't always a hotel. This imposing structure began its life as the Medical Arts Building, a state-of-the-art facility housing doctors' offices, a hospital, and even a morgue. Imagine the daily grind of medical professionals in the 1920s and 30s, treating patients, performing surgeries, and sadly, dealing with the deceased. Over the years, countless lives passed through its halls, and many souls never left. It's said that this building's history as a center of healing and death laid the foundation for the eerie occurrences reported by guests and staff alike. In 1984, the building was transformed into the Emily Morgan Hotel, named after Emily D. West, the Yellow Rose of Texas. But despite the elegant makeover, the spirits of its past seemed to cling to its walls. One guest stated, "I stayed on the 7th floor and I woke up to the sound of a woman singing. It was beautiful yet haunting. When I opened my eyes, there was no one there." An employee said, "I worked here for years and you get used to the odd sounds. Footsteps when no one's around, the elevator stopping on floors without being called. It can be pretty unsettling." Among the hotel's most haunted locations is the infamous 7th floor. Once a surgical area, guests frequently report hearing the sounds of moaning, phantom steps, and even seeing ghostly apparitions of nurses still tending to patients. The 9th floor, formerly the morgue, also holds its share of spectral sightings. Shadows dart across the walls, and the temperature often drops suddenly, sending shivers down the spines of those brave enough to explore. And then there's the 12th floor. Once the site of the psychiatric care, this floor is rife with stories of disembodied voices, laughter, and the unnerving sensation of being watched. One paranormal investigator stated, "We've captured EVP recordings here that are chilling. Voices saying, 'Help me,' and 'Get out,' clear as day. The energy in this place is palpable." Today, the Emily Morgan Hotel embraces its haunted reputation, offering ghost tours that delve into eerie past and paranormal present. Guests who check in are often seeking more than just a comfortable bed. They're looking for a brush with the supernatural. So next time you find yourself in San Antonio, consider a stay at the Emily Morgan Hotel. But beware, once you're checked in, you might just find the past is closer than you think. In the heart of the arid Arizona desert lies Bisbee, an old mining town with a rich history and even richer tapestry of ghostly legends. At the center of these tales stands the Copper Queen Hotel, a grand edifice that has watched over Bisbee for more than a century. But beneath its elegant exterior and historic charm lurk stories of tragedy, mystery, and spirits that refuse to leave. Bisbee was found in the late 19th century, a boomtown born of the booming copper industry. In 1902, the Copper Queen Hotel opened its doors, intended to be a luxurious respite for wealthy mine executives and travelers. But as the years passed, the hotel became more than just a symbol of opulence. It became a repository for the town's sorrows and secrets. One of the most famous spirits said to inhabit the Copper Queen Hotel is that of Julia Lowell, known as the Lady in White. Julia was a beautiful young woman who worked as a prostitute, entertaining her clients in the comfort of the hotel's rooms. She fell deeply in love with one of her clients, but her affections were not returned. Heartbroken and despondent, Julia took her own life in the hotel. Guests and staff have reported seeing Julia's ghostly figure wandering the halls, her presence often accompanied by the faint scent of lavender perfume. Some say she whispers softly to men, as if seeking the love she never found in life. Another spectral resident is Billy, a young boy whose playful spirit has been felt throughout the hotel. Legend has it that Billy drowned in the nearby San Pedro River, and his spirit found its way to the Copper Queen. Guests have heard the sounds of a child's laughter, and small footprints have appeared mysteriously on freshly cleaned floors. Billy's presence is often comforting, a reminder of the innocence that once filled the halls of this grand hotel. But his playful antics can sometimes unsettle those unprepared for a brush with the supernatural. Perhaps the most ominous of the Copper Queen's spirits is the man in the top hat. This tall, dark figure is believed to be the ghost of a miner who met a tragic end. Unlike Julia and Billy, the man in the top hat exudes a malevolent energy. Guests have reported feeling a cold, unnerving presence, and some have even seen his shadowy figure standing at the foot of their beds, watching silently. The miner's tragic story remains a mystery, but his restless spirit continues to haunt the very hotel that once offered respite from the harsh realities of mining life. The Copper Queen Hotel stands as a testament to Bisbee's rich and tumultuous history. Its elegant rooms and halls are not just filled with the echoes of the past, but with the spirits who have made this place their eternal home. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the sense of mystery and intrigue that pervades this historic hotel. So the next time you find yourself in Bisbee, remember, the Copper Queen Hotel is more than just a place to rest your head. It's a portal to the past where the living and the dead share the same space. Nestled in the heart of downtown Ogden, Utah, stands the historic Ben Lomond Hotel, a beacon of elegance since its opening in 1927. But beyond its luxurious exterior and opulent interiors lies a history steeped in tragedy and paranormal activity. The Ben Lomond Hotel was originally built to cater to the influx of travelers brought in by the Union Pacific Railroad. Over the years, it became a symbol of prosperity, hosting countless dignitaries, celebrities, and locals. But with its long history came stories of sorrow, loss, and unexplained phenomena. One of the most infamous spirits said to haunt the Ben Lomond Hotel is that of a woman named Florence Gravius. Florence was a hotel maid who tragically fell to her death down the hotel's grand staircase in the 1920s. Guests and staff alike have reported seeing her apparition, often described as a woman in a long dress, wandering the halls and vanishing near the staircase. Room 1102 is notorious among paranormal enthusiasts and hotel staff. Many believe it to be the epicenter of the hotel's ghostly activities. Guests have recounted strange occurrences from faucets turning on and off by themselves to inexplicable cold spots and unsettling whispers in the dead of night. Some say they have even seen a shadowy figure standing at the foot of their bed, watching silently before disappearing into thin air. One of the most chilling legends is that of the bride in the elevator. According to local lore, a young bride met her untimely end on her wedding night while staying at the Ben Lomond Hotel. Heartbroken and alone, she supposedly took her own life. Her restless spirit is said to roam the hotel, often seen entering or exiting the elevator, eternally searching for her lost love. Some have even reported feeling a cold breeze or the sensation of a hand brushing against them while riding alone in the elevator. The 11th floor is another area shrouded in mystery. Many believe it to be the most haunted part of the hotel, with reports of disembodied voices, sudden drops in temperature, and the feeling of being watched. Guests who have stayed on this floor often speak of sleepless nights, plagued by the sense that they are never truly alone. The stories of the Ben Lomond Hotel aren't just confined to its guests. Staff members, some of whom have worked at the hotel for decades, have their own chilling tales, from cleaning crews finding rooms inexplicably rearranged to security personnel hearing strange noises during their rounds. The hotel's eerie reputation is well known among those who work there. The Ben Lomond Hotel remains an enigma, a place where history and hauntings coexist. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the eerie atmosphere that permeates this historic landmark. For those brave enough to stay, the Ben Lomond Hotel offers not just a glimpse into the past, but perhaps a brush with the otherworldly. In the heart of Portland, Oregon, where modern and history intertwine, stands the Heathman Hotel, a place where luxury meets the supernatural. For nearly a century, this establishment has been more than just a haven for travelers. It's a site of unexplained phenomena, where the past lingers and whispers through the hallway. This is the haunted history of the Heathman Hotel. The Heathman Hotel opened its doors in 1927 during a period of prosperity and growth in Portland. Its opulent design and lavish accommodations quickly made it a favorite among the city's elite. But even as the hotel thrived, strange occurrences began to unfold within its walls. Guests have reported unusual and unsettling experiences, particularly on the third floor. Rooms 703, 803, and 1003 are infamous for the paranormal activity. It is said that a man fell, or perhaps jumped, to his death from one of these rooms, leaving his restless spirits to wander the hotel. One guest staying in room 703 recounted waking up in the middle of the night to a suffocating feeling, as if an unseen force was pressing down on her chest. Others have reported flickering lights, the sudden drop in temperature, and the eerie sensation of being watched. One staff member stated, "I've worked here for over 10 years, and I've seen and heard things I can't explain. There have been reports of ghostly apparitions in the hallways and phantom footsteps echoing through corridors. Sometimes we hear whispers late at night when no one else is around." Historian accounts suggest that the hotel's location might be tied to its haunted nature. Before the Heathman was built, the land was home to several smaller buildings, some of which met tragic ends through fires and other calamities. It's believed that these past tragedies have imbued the site with a lingering spiritual energy. Today, the Heathman Hotel embraces its haunted reputation. Paranormal enthusiasts and curious guests come from far and wide, hoping to catch a glimpse of the supernatural. The hotel even offers ghost tours, where visitors can learn about its eerie history and the countless stories of those who have encountered the unexplained. One tour guide stated, Many believe that the spirits here are not malicious, but rather trapped, seeking peace or simply continuing their routines from life. We've had countless EVP recordings, mysterious orbs and photos, and even sightings of full-bodied apparitions. The Heathman Hotel stands as a testament to Portland's rich history and the mysteries that lie within. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the allure of its haunted past. For those brave enough to stay the night, the Heathman offers not just a room, but an experience, one where the past and present converge in the most spectral of ways. Next time you find yourself in Portland, check into the Heathman Hotel. Who knows, you might just check out with a ghost story of your own. Nestled in the rolling hills of southern Illinois, just outside the small town of Equality, lies a mansion with a dark and disturbing past. Known as the Old Slave House, this historic site has been the subject of ghostly legends and chilling tales for over a century. The story begins in the early 19th century with a man named John Hart Crenshaw. Crenshaw was a prominent businessman who, despite Illinois being a free state, was involved in the illegal practice of kidnapping freed African Americans and selling them into slavery. Crenshaw's mansion, built in 1838, was not just a grand home, it was a house of horrors. In the attic of this majestic abode, Crenshaw constructed a series of small, cramped cells where kidnapped individuals were held in appalling conditions before being transported south to be sold into slavery. These tiny cells, some still bearing the marks of their occupants' desperation, are a stark reminder of the brutal reality of the Crenshaw's operations. The cries of those imprisoned here have long since faded, but many believe their spirits remain trapped in this house. One local historian stated, "The Old Slave House has always been a source of fascination and fear for the local community. Stories of strange noises, cold spots, and ghostly apparitions have been passed down through generations." A paranormal investigator stated, "When we conducted our investigation, we experienced unexplainable phenomena, disembodied voices, footsteps, and even the feeling of being watched. The atmosphere in the attic is particularly heavy, as if the walls themselves are imbued with sorrow and anger." Visitors and investigators alike have reported a wide array of paranormal activity, from shadowy figures appearing in the corners of rooms to the unnerving sensation of being touched by unseen hands. The mansion's haunted reputation is well earned. Today, the Old Slave House stands as a poignant historical site, offering tours that delve into both its architectural grandeur and its grim past. It's a place where history is felt as much as it is seen, where the echoes of the past seem to linger in every corner. The Old Slave House is more than just a relic of a bygone era. It's a testament to the enduring impact of history, both the pride of human achievement and the depths of human cruelty. As night falls over the house, one can't help but wonder if the souls of those who suffered here still walk its halls, seeking justice or perhaps peace. Whether you believe in ghosts, the Old Slave House remains a haunting reminder of a dark chapter in American history. It's a place where the past is never truly dead, and the echoes of its haunted history continue to resonate with those who dare to listen. Fort Morgan, located in Mobile Bay, Alabama, isn't just rich in history, but also steeped in eerie legends and ghostly tales. Fort Morgan was built between 1819 and 1833, named after General Daniel Morgan, a hero of the Revolutionary War. Over the years, it played key roles in several major conflicts, including the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, and both World Wars. But it's not just battles and soldiers that make Fort Morgan intriguing. Many believe that the spirits of those who lived and died here still linger. During the Civil War, the Battle of Mobile Bay in 1864 was a particularly bloody conflict. Union forces, led by Admiral David Farragut, clashed with Confederate defenders right here. The fort saw heavy casualties, and some say the spirits of those who perished still haunt the ground. This fort also served as a prison for captured soldiers. Imagine the suffering and harsh conditions they endured. Visitors have reported hearing eerie footsteps, disembodied cries, and even seeing ghostly apparitions in the old prison areas. One visitor stated, "I felt a sudden chill and heard faint voices when I walked through the barracks." A paranormal investigator was quoted as saying, "We captured some compelling EVPs here, with sounds resembling gunfire and distant drums." Many sightings involve soldiers. People have reported seeing apparitions in uniforms, hearing the sounds of military drills, and even gunfire echoes. These ghostly encounters are thought to be residual energy, like echoes from the past replaying over and over. But there are also some specific and famous ghost stories tied to Fort Morgan. One of the most famous is the Lady in White. Legend has it she's searching for her lost love who died in battle. Witnesses have seen her glowing figure wandering near the fort's walls. Another chilling tale is that of the phantom drummer. Late at night, the sound of a drum can be heard echoing through the fort. Many believe this ghostly drummer is a remnant from the Civil War era. Paranormal investigators have explored Fort Morgan extensively. They've recorded EVPs, captured unexplained movements on video, and experienced sudden cold spots and feelings of unease. Fort Morgan's haunted history is a fascinating blend of historical significance and supernatural lore. Whether you're a history buff or a paranormal enthusiast, this place has something for everyone. In the rugged mountains of western Massachusetts lies a marvel of engineering and a beacon of mystery, the Hoosac Tunnel. Spanning nearly 5 miles through the Berkshire Mountains, this 19th century railroad tunnel is often referred to as the Bloody Pit. Its construction and history are marred by tragedy, unexplained accidents, and eerie occurrences that continue to baffle and intrigue to this day. The story of the Hoosac Tunnel begins in 1851 when work commenced on what was one of the most ambitious engineering projects in America. Designed to connect Boston with the burgeoning railroads of New York and beyond, the tunnel was a vital link in the nation's transportation network. But from the outset, the project was plagued by misfortune. Tragedy struck early and often. In 1867, 3 years into the project, a massive explosion caused by nitroglycerin claimed the lives of 13 workers. The blast was so powerful that it collapsed part of the tunnel and entombed the men within the mountain. Their bodies were never recovered, and their spirits are said to haunt the dark, damp corridors of the tunnel to this day. One local historian stated, "The explosion was just the beginning. Over the course of the tunnel's construction, more than 200 men lost their lives to various accidents, including cave-ins, drownings, and fires. The sheer number of deaths earned the Hoosac Tunnel its grim name, the Bloody Pit." As the years passed, stories of strange occurrences within the tunnel began to surface. Workers reported hearing disembodied voices, footsteps echoing through the darkness, and the anguished cries of men in pain. Some even claimed to have seen ghostly apparitions wandering the tracks. One paranormal investigator claimed, "We've captured some truly chilling evidence in the Hoosac Tunnel. In one investigation, we recorded an EVP where a voice can be heard whispering, 'Get out.' We have also experienced sudden drops in temperature and the feeling of being watched." One of the most famous stories involves a man named Ringo Kelly, a tunnel worker accused of causing the deaths of two fellow workers in an 1865 explosion. Kelly disappeared shortly after the incident, only to be found dead a year later in the exact same spot where the explosion occurred. His death remains a mystery, with some believing he was killed by vengeful spirits. Despite its dark past, the Hoosac Tunnel was finally completed in 1875 and continues to be used to this day. Trains rumble through its eerie passage, seemingly undisturbed by the tunnel's haunted reputation. Yet those who dare to venture inside after dark tell tales of an overwhelming sense of dread and the unmistakable feeling that they are not alone. The Hoosac Tunnel stands as a testament to human ingenuity and determination, but it also serves as a chilling reminder of the lives lost in its creation. The stories of the bloody pit are as enduring as the tunnel itself, whispering their way through the annals of history and into the shadows of the present. If you ever find yourself in North Adams, Massachusetts, and you hear the distant rumble of a train echoing through the mountains, remember the souls who never made it out. The Hoosac Tunnel is not just a passage through the earth, but a portal to the past, where the spirits of the lost may still roam, waiting for someone to listen to their tales. Welcome to Washington, D.C., a city rich in history and filled with tales from the past. Among its many historic landmarks stands the Octagon House, an architectural marvel with a spine-chilling secret. This is not just any house, it's a house with a haunting past. Built in 1801 by Colonel John Taylor III, the Octagon House was intended to be a symbol of wealth and status. Its unique 8-sided design made it one of the most distinctive homes in the capital. But beneath its grand facade lies a dark and mysterious history that has intrigued ghost hunters and historians alike. The Taylor family, prominent Virginia planters, commissioned Dr. William Thornton, the first architect of the U.S. Capitol, to design the home. The family moved in during the early 1800s, and it quickly became a social hub in Washington. However, amidst the lavish parties and important gatherings, tragedy struck, leaving an indelible mark on the house. The first ghostly tale begins with the tragic death of one of the Taylor daughters. According to legend, she fell down the steep spiral staircase after a heated argument with her father over a forbidden love affair. Some say she was pushed, while others believe she slipped in a fit of despair. To this day, visitors and staff have reported hearing the sounds of a young woman sobbing and the faint echo of footsteps on the staircase. One local historian stated, "The story of the Taylor daughter is one of the most well-known legends associated with the Octagon House. Many believe that her spirit never left the house, and her presence can still be felt, especially near the staircase where she met her untimely end." Another chilling tale involves the mysterious death of a second Taylor daughter. As the story goes, she too fell victim to the same staircase, under equally tragic circumstances. The details to her death remain murky, but her spirit is said to haunt the upper floors, often seen wandering the rooms in a white dress, forever searching for peace. The Octagon House also played a crucial role during the War of 1812. After British forces burned the White House, President James Madison and First Lady Dolly Madison sought refuge here. Dolly, known for her social grace, held numerous gatherings in the house. However, some believe that the turmoil and stress of the war left an imprint on the house, contributing to its haunted reputation. One paranormal investigator stated, "During our investigations, we've experienced cold spots, unexplained noises, and even sightings of ghostly figures. The Octagon House is definitely one of the most active locations we've explored. The spirits here seem to be tied to the intense emotions and historical events that took place within its walls." A tour guide stated, Visitors have reported seeing candles flickering without any wind, doors opening and closing on their own, and even feeling a ghostly touch. The most active areas are the staircase, the second floor bedrooms, and the drawing room where Dolly Madison entertained guests. The drawing room, once filled with laughter and music, is now a hotspot for paranormal activity. Some have claimed to see the ghost of Dolly Madison herself, still playing the role of the gracious hostess. Others have felt an inexplicable chill in the air, as if the past is trying to reach out to the present. Over the years, the Octagon House has been a private residence, a government office, and now a museum. Despite its various roles, the stories of hauntings have persisted, captivating the imaginations of those who visit. The Octagon House holds a special place in Washington, D.C.'s history. Its walls have witnessed joy, sorrow, love, and loss. And perhaps, just perhaps, the spirits of the past still linger, reminding us of the stories that time can never erase. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please take a moment and subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. Until next time, stay curious.